Here is one great thing. WTF report card. This belongs in your ordinance right here. This is why. Hi, guys. When you were a kid, you know, especially some of those planning commissioners and those other guys might be in their 50s or so. When you were in elementary school, you had one of these report cards and you had to take it home and get your mom to sign it. And you had that conversation. We've all done this. We've all had a report card. Maybe it wasn't handwritten from 1955, but we all had a report card. Well, this is good because we learned something about report cards. Well, what did we learn? We learned what the numbers mean. You know, if you get like a 92 or 97, oh, that's an A. If I got like 82 or 85, well, that's a B. Anything in the 70s is going to get you a C, and, you know, goes down from there, D's and F's. Well, we like A and B students. We stand for that in our community. So what maps to those numbers perfectly? D, B, M. Take a look. We're going to put a report card. Anything that's from minus 95 to minus 125, that gets an A in our town. We'll approve that one. Anything that's minus 80 to minus 89, yeah, we'll approve that one too. What are you telling me? Oh, it's going to be minus 70 dBm? Oh, hell no. We don't allow C's in our town. We're definitely an A-B town. We want A's and B's, okay? Don't have to have 100% A's. We'll have a few B's. Oh, 60 to 69 dB? Oh, no, can't go there. Exceeds that? Oh, hell no. You put a report card like this in, and they start nodding their heads. Yeah, we get it. We understand what that grade is. We understand that minus 80 to minus 89 is enough. That's a solid B. We'll take it. We'll take it. But beyond that, nope, you got to fix it. We don't let C students continue to get C's. We give them extra teaching and tutoring, and we get them up to a B. We're not going to let these cell towers operate at the C territory. Hell no. We're going to work with them and change out their equipment and do everything we can to get them to a B. You are a sales rep. You have to take over a territory. If you take over the guy who screwed up, you have the beauty of a low base. It's a low number. You're going to easily exceed it. You're going to look like a hero. You love those low bases. Or you're going to take over the territory of the guy who got promoted, and he was gangbusters. Now you have a difficult time, you know, exceeding his numbers. That's the curse of a high base. Well, 10 million microwatts per square meter is about the highest base you can imagine. And 0.002 microwatts per square meter at minus 85 dBm is a beautifully low base to make your comparisons to. Which one do you want to pick? How high is it? And look at this green area. This is where they're saying that the predicted MPE depicted at the center of the 6-foot vertical zone. This is the area that exceeds the federal maximum public exposure guideline. They always confuse themselves because there's two different ways of talking about this. Does it exceed it in the absolute coming out anywhere from the antenna? That's one thing. Does it exceed it in an accessible area where you think people might be? We don't think people are going to be up here. We think people are going to be down here. If this extends into your front yard, what if you put one of those little inflatable slides that goes down with water and everything else, and you stood on the ladder, your head could go right there, bang. Well, that can't happen. That's an accessible area. How many feet is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 feet. So does that extend into your property? If it does, you have a right to the airspace in your property. You can do something about that. The stupid thing here is this line right here. Oh, if I'm just to the right of that line, I'm perfectly fine. This is what the industry says. Yep, you're out of the danger zone. You're perfectly fine. Well, that's not possible, right? I mean, clearly, this is just funny drawings to make you feel okay. But the compliance is very meaningless. I honestly believe NEPA is one of the best places to go because you can build in a lot of delay and you can build in a lot of uncertainty. So let me tell you what I do know about that is the most informed I can be about it, okay? Because I'm in touch with these people fairly frequently and we have active complaints in them. And I know the complaints that were done well are still in the system. Nothing's getting built and it's over a year. So if you do these NEPA complaints well, they kind of sit there for a while. All right. So let's go to NEPA Strategies.
Do you have some steps somewhere on your website, like what a group would do?
What are we looking at? We're looking at the NEPA Strategies page. It's all here. right here.
And so if it says it does not apply, you look at a report, it says it doesn't apply. So how do we find out if that's true or not? We would look at this page here.
Yes, it's all
Okay.
on this page right here. I'm about to show you.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, so who tells us this? The very people who run NEPA for the country. So here they are. I talk to them. I get on the phone with an attorney with them. I get clarification from them.
Mm.
And then I report it out to everybody. Ms. Garnett Hanley, who is she? She's a division chief of the Competition Infrastructure Policy Division for FCC's Wires Telecommunications Bureau. Who's above her? The commissioners. She's one level below the commissioners. Cool. The FCC, when it modified its rules and by its October 2019 order that became effective on December 5th, after the DC Circuit issued its mandate in Ketawa versus FCC, we, the FCC, took the position that we were reviewing small wires facilities as federal undertakings and major federal actions pursuant to the DC Circuit decision, and that is what we've been doing. Cool. What else happens? She said this: all wireless telecommunications facilities applications need a NEPA review. That is correct. What more do you need to know? Let's think about the whole NEPA process using a general term, NEPA analysis. Okay, that's not really an official term. We'll just call it for the whole shooting match. Okay, and think of it as a big old fat notebook. Okay, and the title of the notebook is NEPA analysis. It comes in 3 flavors. You open up the notebook and you got the first tab. It's nice and thin. It's called NEPA review. Then you go to the second tab. It's kind of thicker. It's called NEPA environmental assessment. And then you get the third tab and it's really thick. And that's NEPA environmental impact statement. Those are your 3 options in NEPA. All right. NEPA review is basically nothing. It's nothing. It is a self-policed letter written by the applicant, and they can say anything they want on the letter with the conclusion is we are exempt. They don't have to have any logic. They could say pudding is green, we're in the month with an R in it, and we are exempt, and that counts as NEPA review. It is self-policed. It is never sent to the FCC. The FCC never receives it, never expects to receive it. They are treating the foxes in the hen house as if they're little angels and they do everything exactly right all the time. The point is that the next step is where you want to go. You want to get the FCC to make a determination whether or not an environmental assessment is required. That's a big conversation. That is a conversation mediated between you, the complainant, and the wireless company, and it goes through the FCC. So essentially, it's just a long letter writing campaign where you're playing ping pong back and forth to the wireless company through the FCC. Harry Lehman's been doing this on the Thousand Oaks Tower since last January. And that's still going. It's March of the following year. It's been 4 rounds. He's caught on all kinds of lies. He's doing a good job. And he's probably going to get an environmental assessment ordered in Thousand Oaks. Well, an environmental assessment is A, expensive. B, it takes a lot of energy, time, and the rest. It's enough for somebody to say, I don't really want to do that. Maybe I'll just pull my application. However, we have also uncovered this crazy little rule that you also talked about today. And that is the one where the lower edge of the antenna is less than 10 meters from the ground, and it is more than 1,000 watts of effective radiated power. Boom. That's a rule. And the rule says any antenna like that, you got to do an environmental assessment. Not up for debate, just has to happen. I did that in Sonoma. 3 towers are going into Sonoma. I put it in February of 2020. Here we are, March 2021. Those towers haven't been built. But when it's time to build, now you can't. You have to sit there until we hear back from the FCC. You got any problems? Call Erica. I'll give you the number. Here, go ahead, call her. Talk to her. She'll tell you the complaint's in there. They're still dealing with it. You ask her, when are they going to get to it? Whenever they do. I asked her this question. I said, you know, Erica, we have these shot clocks out here and we have to deal with things in a certain amount of time. Do you guys have any kind of internal shot clock thing going on in the FCC? Well, Paul, the FCC pretty much has infinite shot clocks. And that's what you want. You want to make as much muck and mire there ever was, because the whole point is if it's so hard to build in Santa Barbara County, then it's hard here. I think we'll go somewhere else. You'll never get to an environmental impact statement. Second of all, don't do anything unless you read the rules. Everything you need to know is on this page. It's a long page. You have to read it all. Sorry. But it's in one spot, so you can't miss it. I'm the #1 link in Google for NEPA Strategies. I've been the #1 link since last summer. It's the link that will take you to the actual up-to-the-date thing. This is current as of March 8th, 2021, right? So any changes there were in the NEPA rules, they are reflected here. And the NEPA rules did change back in September of 2020, and I asked Erica point blank, does it change any of the conclusions you've told us so far in our calls in December of 2019 or in March of 2020? She said, nope, all the same. I said, thank you very much. You can go after every single one that went up without NEPA review. So you get to go all the way down and you get to see this little paragraph here. They talk all about exposure limits and all that other stuff, and eventually leads to a table. And here's the nice little table. And you're going to see radio telephone service part 22. Non-building mountain antennas, height above ground to lowest point of antenna, less than 10 meters, and total power of all channels greater than 1,000 watts of ERP. Look, the FCC never thought they'd have to deal with this because they went out to get an exemption from environmental review for all small cells. That's what they wrote first. They said, please give us this little exemption. Then we don't have to worry about these old rules and everything else. We don't have to worry about them. Well, they lost the lawsuit. Oh my God, sorry guys. Now you do. Now that you admitted you have to treat them like major federal actions and every other cell tower. Well, guess what? These rules still apply to a small cell. Sorry. Guess what? Hey, let's really think about this. When did you finally define this new class of wires facility? Where did that happen? That happened in March of 2018. And what happened to that order? The judges got rid of it. Uh-oh, wait a minute. We had all kinds of benefits attached to that definition, didn't we? Well, we did, but it's not there anymore. Oh no, what's that going to do to our small cell agenda? It's going to crumble it. All those other special benefits. Oh, you're only going to get $300. You have to do a 60-day shot clock. You know, you can't do any kind of moratorium. That's all based on a definition that's no longer there. There's no foundation. This is where we are.
Let's see if I can absorb
Hi, we're the FCC. We're in charge of cell towers for the country. And when we do, we go through a very formalized process to do that. And we go out with a notice of proposed rulemaking. Hey, country, we're about to do this thing. Want to let everybody know so you can all kind of weigh in and give us your thoughts and build a record. And we'll read it. And after we do that, then we'll write a very detailed order about which way we're going to go and some final rules. We're going to have a nice little meeting. We're going to vote it in. That's a nice formalized process. That's what they're supposed to go through for any important thing they do. Hey, is this whole small cell thing an important thing? Oh, hell yeah. Let's see. We were 300,000 towers when we started, and we'll be like 1.4 million when we're done. Is increasing the number of cell towers by 4 times a big deal? Yeah, it is. So you better go through one of those formal processes. Got it. So we did it in March of 2018. So good. Now that we did that one in March, now we're going to add to it in August and then again in September. And we keep adding extra benefits to this definition of a small cell. And we're happily going on our way. And gosh, I hope those courts don't get in our way. Oh, boom! They took away our definition. Uh-oh. We got no definition anymore. Oh man, maybe we'll just we'll slip it in quietly in October. Yeah, we'll just write a little thing and we'll slip it under the door. We won't tell anybody.
Pause on that part.
So I'm going to go to my home page, which is right up here. And there's this article that I have here that's called Link to Federal Court Overturns FCC Order. And we will now add mandate as the anchor. M-A-N-D-A-T-E, mandate. We went out in October, and now we came back in November. We printed in the Federal Register. I'm the FCC. I got a final rule here. All right, what are we doing? We are going to repeal a section of the Commission's rules implementing small wires facilities exemption, and wait for it, delete a cross-reference to that section contained elsewhere in the Commission's rules. Those are all those things pointing back to that definition. We have to delete them because the definition is no longer there. We don't have a connection back to it anymore. Here's some supplementary information. Yep, we put this crappy thing out there. We lost our lawsuit. And consistent with the court's mandate, this order repeals the section of the rules implementing small wires facilities exemption. And here we are, deleting a cross-reference. We already did. There we go. Done. Finished. Over. All right, what else? Well, we're kind of spitball here now. We find that notice and comment are unnecessary because we don't want it anymore. And we're going to reach out to some weak ass little thing in the APA and figure out, see if we can get away. What else are we going to do? Oh, well, you know, we know that this is repealed and amended. Got it. It's going to be effective on December 5th. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and write the definition right back in. What? Here's the final rules. Here we are. We are going to amend things. We're going to say facilities for which no pre-construction authorization is desired, and we're going to get rid of all that. And magically, that same definition shows up now here in 16002 definitions. Did we have a notice of proposed rulemaking? Did we go out and get public record? Did we go out and have anybody write anything? Did we have a vote? Did we do anything? No. Was this legally established? No. Did we bring this up to the FCC? Yes. Did they have any answers for us at all? No. You ever hear of a non-denial denial like in the Watergate days? Do you remember that? This is a non-denial denial right here. Okay. Hey, but we're going to spitball. We're going to say small wires facilities are 50 feet or less in height. They're going to be no more than 3 cubic feet in volume and no more than 28 cubic feet in volume for the equipment. So the first one was the antenna. The second was the equipment. This is exactly the definition that we had erased. And we're just going to magically stick it right back in because we need it. But we didn't do it legally. So your city and county can confidently look across the desk at Crown Castle and say, 60-day shot clock, go take a hike. We'll process it within 150 days. Go pound sand. Take us to court if you want. Look, it's a very simple equation. The more difficult you make it for them, the more they reach the conclusion it's not worth it. That's it. So if you have the resolve of it's not going to my community and you throw everything at the wall, they'll decide, oh, well, we won't have so much coverage there. So what? Let's move on. And you know, maybe they'll never come back. Who knows? That's the whole thing you want. Oh man, it's so hard in this town. We're going to go somewhere else.